Let's get right into it. Number 10. The Eiffel Tower. Imagine spending a fortune building something, promising everyone you'll tear it down in 20 years, then never doing it. That's exactly what happened with the Eiffel Tower. In 1887, a bunch of Parisian artists and writers were losing their minds over this new construction project. They called it a tragic street lamp and a giant black smokestack. One critic said it would be like having a gigantic black chimney crushing Notre Dame Cathedral. None of that mattered because the tower wasn't meant to stick around anyway. It was supposed to be the world's fanciest carnival attraction. Build it for the 1889 World's Fair, let it stand for 20 years, then tear it down. The permit literally had an expiration date. But Gustave Eiffel, the guy who built it, wasn't about to let his masterpiece get scrapped. While everyone else saw an ugly metal tower, Eiffel saw the world's tallest antenna. He started doing scientific experiments on the tower. He put weather instruments on it. He used it for radio broadcasting. He basically turned it into the world's most expensive Swiss Army knife. Then World War I happened, and suddenly having the tallest radio antenna in France wasn't such a bad idea. The tower became crucial for intercepting enemy messages. It even helped catch the infamous spy Mata Hari. By the time the permit expired, the tower had made itself too useful to tear down. Today, the Eiffel Tower gets more visitors than any other paid monument in the world. And those critics who hated it? One of them used to eat lunch in the tower's restaurant every day. When someone asked him why, he said it's the only place in Paris where he doesn't have to look at it. Number 9. Daylight saving time. In World War I, Germany needed to save coal for the war effort. Their solution was to just change what time it is. The idea caught on faster than a TikTok dance trend. After the war ended, most countries went back to normal time. But this temporary wartime measure stuck around like that one house guest who just won't leave. Now we do this time travel thing twice a year, and nobody really knows why anymore. The original reason was to save energy, but modern studies show it saves about as much energy as unplugging your toaster once a month. Heart attacks spike by 24% in the week after we spring forward. Car accidents go up too. And the funniest part is everyone thinks we did this for farmers. But farmers hate it. Cows don't care what time your clock says. They want to be milked when they're ready. Try telling a cow, sorry, it's actually 6 a.m. now, not 7 a.m. The cow will just look at you like you're crazy. Some states finally said enough. Arizona and Hawaii looked at this whole thing and said, nah, we're good. But the rest of us are still out here acting like time is something we can just change whenever we feel like it. Number 8. Internet cookies. Back in 1994, a programmer named Lou Montulli had a problem. He was working on the website for an online store, and customers kept losing their shopping carts. Every time they clicked to a new page, the website would forget what they wanted to buy. It's like having a really forgetful shopping assistant who dumps your cart every time you turn around. Lou needed a quick fix, so he came up with something he called cookies. These were tiny text files that would remember what you put in your cart. It was supposed to be a temporary solution until they found something better. Other websites saw this and thought, hey, if we can remember what's in someone's cart, what else can we remember? Turns out pretty much everything. Your login details, your preferences, your browsing history. Cookies track it all. These little digital crumbs follow you everywhere you go online. It's like having a really creepy stalker who takes notes about everything you do. Oh, I see you looked at those shoes last week. Here they are again in every ad for the next month. Oh, you searched for cat videos at 3 a.m.? Let me tell everyone who wants to advertise to you. Now, cookies are so deeply baked into how the internet works, we can't get rid of them. They've gone from being a quick shopping cart fix to being the backbone of online advertising. It's like fixing a leaky pipe with duct tape, and then building an entire city around that duct tape. So next time you see that "this website uses cookies" pop up, just remember you're looking at a temporary solution that's old enough to have its own kids. Number 7. The Korean DMZ. Imagine building a fence to keep your neighbor's dog out of your yard for a few days, but then that fence stays there for 70 years. That's basically what happened in Korea. But instead of a fence, we're talking about a 2.5-mile wide, 110-mile-long strip of land packed with landmines and guard towers. Back in 1953, everyone thought this would be a quick fix. Just separate the two sides until they could work out their differences. That was over 70 years ago. This strip of death and destruction has accidentally become one of the world's most successful wildlife sanctuaries because humans can't go in there unless they want to play a very dangerous game of hopscotch with landmines. Nature has taken over. You've got endangered cranes doing their morning dance routines between military checkpoints. Tigers and leopards are prowling around old tank traps. There are even bears wandering through fields of forgotten landmines, probably wondering why humans left them such a weird playground. Then there's the psychological warfare. South Korea used to blast K-pop through giant speakers across the border. North Korea responded by blasting propaganda about the greatness of their leader. It's like the world's deadliest DJ battle. The whole thing is so tense that in 1976, a fight broke out over a tree. North Korean soldiers killed 2 American soldiers who were trying to trim a poplar tree that was blocking their view. The response was Operation Paul Bunyan. The US and South Korea sent in a massive military force, including bombers and fighters, just to cut down one tree. Scientists estimate there are about 6,000 species of plants and animals in the DMZ, so this place designed to keep humans apart has become a paradise for everything else. Number 6. The TV dinner. In 1953, Swanson Foods had a big problem. They ordered way too many turkeys for Thanksgiving. 260 tons of frozen turkey just sitting in refrigerated train cars. One of Swanson's salesmen, Jerry Thomas, had an idea during a flight. He noticed airlines were serving heated meals in aluminum trays with different compartments. He thought, what if we did this, but for sad people eating alone at home? They started packaging turkey with cornbread stuffing, peas, and sweet potatoes. Each meal cost 98 cents. These dinners were supposed to be a one-time thing to get rid of excess turkey. Instead, they accidentally changed how Americans eat forever. In the first year alone, Swanson sold over 10 million TV dinners. People loved them because they could eat while watching their favorite shows. 3 neat little compartments, keeping your food separated like divorced parents at a graduation. If you didn't heat them exactly right, you'd end up with a meal that was simultaneously burning hot and freezing cold. The mashed potatoes would be molten lava while the peas remained frozen enough to chip a tooth. These TV dinners were so successful, they changed family dynamics forever. No more sitting around the dinner table sharing stories about your day. Now everyone could grab their aluminum tray and retreat to their own corner like a hermit crab. Number 5. The Jeep. The Jeep started as the military's version of a quick Tinder date. They just needed something fast and temporary for World War II. The army was tired of their soldiers riding around on motorcycles like some kind of wartime biker gang. So in 1940, they sent out a desperate message to car companies. They needed a light reconnaissance vehicle, and the deadline was insane. Most companies looked at that deadline and laughed, but a tiny company called American Bantam stepped up and delivered a design. They were too small to produce enough, so the army took their designs and gave them to Willys and Ford to build. The result was the Willys MB, a vehicle that could go anywhere, carry anything, and probably survive a nuclear blast. General Eisenhower later said the Jeep was one of the 3 tools that won World War II. After the war, the military had thousands of these temporary vehicles sitting around. They started selling them to civilians for dirt cheap, and people went nuts for them. Farmers realized they were better than tractors. Adventurers discovered they could go places that would make a mountain goat nervous. Willys decided to keep making them, calling the civilian models the CJ series. Even the name Jeep wasn't supposed to stick. It might have come from slurring GP, which stands for General Purpose. The Jeep Wrangler you see today still has the same boxy shape, removable doors, and fold-down windshield as its great-grandpa from 1941. Number 4. The Hollywood sign. In 1923, real estate developers put up a massive sign that said, Hollywoodland. It was supposed to be up for just 18 months as a temporary advertisement for new homes. The sign was 45 feet tall and lit up with 4,000 light bulbs. It cost $21,000 to build, about $350,000 in today's money. It needed constant repairs. A caretaker lived in a tiny shack behind the first L, and his entire job was changing light bulbs on the sign. By 1949, the land part had fallen down from weather damage. The city removed it. Now it just said Hollywood. When the sign started falling apart again in the 1970s, celebrities stepped in to save it. Hugh Hefner hosted a party where letters were auctioned off at $27,700 each. Alice Cooper bought an O, Gene Autry got an L, and Andy Williams got the W. Number 3. The TSA. America's most permanent, temporary solution. After 9/11, the government needed a quick fix for airport security. They created this temporary agency, the TSA, until they could figure out something better. That was over 20 years ago. What started as a small agency has grown into a massive operation with over 50,000 employees and a budget of billions. That's more employees than the entire population of some small cities. The TSA was supposed to be replaced by private security companies once things calmed down, but instead, it became more permanent than most marriages. The agency has become such a permanent fixture that there are now adults who've never known air travel without it. For them, taking off their shoes at security is as normal as putting on a seatbelt. And here's the kicker. In official undercover tests, the TSA has reportedly failed to detect weapons and explosives up to 95% of the time. That's like having a bodyguard who's really good at making you take off your shoes, but misses the guy with the sword walking right past him. This was all supposed to be temporary. Number 2. The QWERTY Keyboard. Imagine designing something to be intentionally inefficient, and then watching it become the global standard for the next 150 years. That's exactly what happened with the keyboard you're probably typing on right now. Back in the 1860s, a newspaper editor named Christopher Latham Scholes was trying to build a typewriter. His first design had the keys arranged alphabetically, which made sense, but the typewriter kept jamming because people were typing too fast. These early typewriters had metal arms that would swing up and crash into each other. So Scholes came up with a temporary fix. He rearranged the keys to separate the most commonly used letter pairs as far apart as possible. This was designed to slow typists down just enough to prevent the arms from jamming. This temporary solution became known as the QWERTY keyboard. Fast forward to today, and we're still using this intentionally inefficient layout designed to solve a problem that hasn't existed for over a century. We don't have metal arms that can jam anymore, but QWERTY is so deeply embedded in our society that even when people tried to introduce better layouts, they failed miserably. You're using a layout specifically designed to slow you down, created for a machine that doesn't exist anymore. Number 1. WinRAR's 40-day trial. WinRAR's 40-day trial is the longest temporary thing in human history. That pop-up saying your trial has expired has been showing up since the days when dinosaurs roamed the internet. WinRAR is like that friend who says they're just crashing on your couch for a few days, but ends up staying for 20 years. The company came up with this genius marketing strategy back in the 90s. They said, try our software for 40 days. After those 40 days, nothing actually happens. The software keeps working perfectly fine. You just get a gentle reminder to buy WinRAR. You can click close and keep using it forever. It's like a vampire that politely asks for permission to enter your house every time, but comes in anyway even if you say no. While regular users could keep using it for free, businesses and organizations couldn't. They needed official licenses to avoid legal issues. So while millions of us were clicking "Remind me later" for the 1,000th time, big companies were actually paying up. This strategy worked so well that WinRAR is still around today, still showing that same pop-up, still being ignored by millions. Some people have literally grown up, graduated college, gotten married, and had kids, all while using the same 40-day trial of WinRAR. There's even a subreddit called Paid for WinRAR, where people post proof that they actually bought it. It's like a support group for people who've done the unthinkable. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.